Namaste, and a very warm welcome to all my amazing Java learners. Today, we are diving into a super exciting and fundamental topic for building dynamic web applications in Java, Java Servlets and Java Server Pages, or JSP. If you have ever wondered how websites like online shopping portals or social media platforms are built using Java, then you are in the right place. In this 5-minute tutorial, we will explore what servlets and JSP are, why they are essential, and how they work together to create interactive web pages. We will cover their core concepts, walk through a practical example, discuss common mistakes, and provide some helpful tips. By the end of this session, you will have a solid understanding of how these powerful technologies enable server-side processing and dynamic content generation. So, grab your virtual pen and paper, and let us begin this wonderful journey into web development with Java. Alright, let us start with servlets. What exactly is a servlet? Think of a servlet as a special Java program that runs on a web server, like Apache Tomcat. Its primary job is to handle requests from web browsers, process them, and then generate a response. When you type a URL into your browser, that request first goes to a servlet. Servlets extend the HTTP servlet class and override methods like doGet for HTTP GET requests or doPost for HTTP POST requests. The service method dispatches to these specific methods. Inside these methods, you can access request parameters, interact with databases, perform business logic, and finally, write the response back to the client, typically as HTML. Servlets are the controller part of your web application, responsible for managing the flow. Here is a basic structure of a servlet. Now, let us move on to Java Server Pages, or JSP. While servlets are excellent for handling logic, writing large amounts of HTML directly within a servlet can become quite cumbersome and difficult to maintain. This is where JSP comes to the rescue. JSP is essentially an HTML page with embedded Java code. Think of it as a templating engine. It allows you to separate your presentation logic from your business logic. When a web server receives a request for a JSP file, the JSP is first compiled into a servlet behind the scenes. This servlet then executes the Java code and generates an HTML response, which is sent back to the browser. JSP uses special tags like scriptlets, %, for Java code expressions, %= for displaying values, and declarations, %. For class-level members. It is perfect for creating dynamic user interfaces. Here is a simple JSP example. Wonderful! Now that we understand servlets and JSP individually, let us see how they work together to build a complete, dynamic web page. This is where the real power lies. Imagine a scenario where a user submits a form. The servlet handles the form submission, processes the data, and then forwards the request to a JSP page to display the results. The servlet passes data to the JSP using request attributes. For example, a servlet might calculate a user's score and then set it as an attribute. The JSP then retrieves this score and displays it beautifully within an HTML structure. This separation of concerns, where servlets handle logic and JSPs handle presentation, is a cornerstone of the Model View Controller, or MVC, design pattern in web development. Let us look at a simple example where a servlet calculates a greeting and passes it to a JSP for display. As you embark on your servlet and JSP journey, you might encounter a few common pitfalls. One frequent mistake is incorrect configuration in the web.xml deployment descriptor, leading to HTTP 404 not found errors. Always double-check your servlet mappings and URL patterns. Another common issue is forgetting to forward the request from the servlet to the JSP, resulting in a blank page or an error. Remember to use request.getRequestDispatcher, your page.jsp.forward request response. A crucial best practice is to always separate your business logic from your presentation logic. Avoid embedding complex database queries or heavy calculations directly within your JSPs. Instead, let your servlets handle the heavy lifting and pass only the necessary data to the JSPs. This approach makes your code cleaner, more maintainable, and easier to debug. Always strive for a clear model view controller architecture. Fantastic! We have covered a lot in these past few minutes. Let us quickly recap the key takeaways. We learned that Java servlets are powerful Java programs running on the server, responsible for handling client requests and processing business logic. Java Server Pages, or JSP, on the other hand, are HTML pages with embedded Java code, perfect for creating dynamic web content and separating presentation from logic. We saw how servlets act as controllers, often forwarding data to JSPs for rendering the view. Remember the importance of correct configuration and the best practice of separating concerns using an MVC-like approach. Keep experimenting with these technologies. The best way to learn is by doing. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting Java programming tutorials. Happy coding, and see you in the next video.